now with me to look at some of the issues and challenges facing the conference is the BBC World Service Environment reporter Navin Singh Khadka. Navin, let's just start with that report on Ethiopia. 18 months without any rain. What can be done in that situation?
Well, you see, this is what they have been talking about. So, Horn of Africa, the Sahel region, the rain patterns, the way it's changing, although already it used to get so much less rainfall, and now even that is changing. And I can explain to you later in the program as we talk about the Great Green Wall. So there is a competition now between that limited vegetation and the desert. And the desert seems to be winning under this climate regime.
Now, the theme of today's meeting is land, life, legacy, from scarcity to prosperity. What exactly are they trying to achieve?
Well, I'll give you some figures and then that will address this. So 2/3 of Africa is basically dry land and desert. 3/4 of them has been estimated to be degraded. And then 65% of productive land already degraded. And you mentioned earlier, 45% of land already hit by desertification. So that is what they are trying to address. That's what they say. Because as you can imagine, when so much of land is already degraded and desert is encroaching, they use the term desertification. And not to forget, deforestation. You see, when you're having all of this, so 4 million hectares of forest disappearing every year, and then climate change comes again. So you have this situation, and therefore land, the restoration of land is key here. It's not just about climate change, livelihood. That is what they're talking about.
So you talk about the restoration of land. You already mentioned this green wall, which was proposed, I think it was back in 1984 or thereabouts. So they've been talking about it for nearly 40 years. Where are we with that?
So the figure, the latest one, so the target now is 100 million hectares by 2030. And the UN brought this report recently out saying that only 20 million hectares have been achieved so far. When I checked, is this figure from countries verified? Well, that was not the case. It was reported by countries. And again, very importantly, when I talked to the UN Secretariat who deals with all these countries, 11 countries across, what they told me is what little has been achieved or being achieved is being undone by climate change. That is the pressing issue there.
Okay, I mean, we need to get this in. Some good is being done in countries like Gabon. What are they doing right, and can other countries emulate them?
Well, the thing is, see, Gabon stands really out. What I said earlier about this degradation of land and deforestation and so on and so forth. Gabon has just 0.4%. I'm sorry, I'll correct myself there. 0.1% of deforestation, which is extraordinary. It's known as a country with high forest and very low deforestation. Just 11 countries in the world have that status. That's extraordinary. That is not the case with majority of the countries. There's this thing called AFR 100. Initiative. It's Pan-Africa thing. Almost 32 countries are involved. They have this target of 100 million hectares restoration. Guess what? The website says more than 127% of the target of that commitment has been achieved. Commitment. But you won't see progress. There's no information on progress. And that is what we wanted to ask with AFR initiative. What's the progress so far? They chose not to come back to us.
And I guess, in those circles, it's referred to as greenwashing or not being completely honest about what you have achieved. Navin, I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. Navin Singh Khadka, always great to have you here on Focus on Africa. Thank you very much. Thank you.